Welcome in here to the second gold semifinal game as it's Jerome taking on the Hilcrest Knights here as we will get ready and find out who will be joining the Bruins in the gold championship game at 6 o'clock tonight. We appreciate you joining us here on the First Bank of Wyoming presentation of the 2024 Pocatello Woodbat Classic here on semifinal and championship Saturday. Jace Andrews alongside Aaron Poling. And Aaron, we had a great first game, ended up being 4-2, a Bruins win over the Wolverines, and now we have to sit here and see who will join them in the championship game.
Yeah, if this game's anything like the last one, we are in for a very, very good game. Obviously, Jerome and Hilcrest coming together. Knights taking on the Tigers, and it should be a lot of fun. These two teams are coming off of a couple different kinds of games. Jerome won their game via blowout as they were able to take care of Green River yesterday. The Knights were able to win their game in a thrilling top of the seventh inning, score a couple of runs, hold on for the bottom style game last night, as that was an instant classic here at the Pocatello Woodbat tournament.
The 8 seed, but you and I both did that game on Thursday night. They are not worthy of an 8 seed. They were definitely playing much better throughout this tournament, just had some unlucky draws. Belknap on the mound for Jerome, and a strike thrown here as, it's Garcia on the mound for Jerome as he gets a first pitch strike to Lawrence, the right fielder, who leads off the night, or rather the afternoon for the Knights. Night for the Knights. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one is going to stay up high. Get to the starting lineups here in just a moment as the 1-1 is a strike at the bottom part of the zone, so it's going to be now 1 ball and 2 strikes on the right fielder, Lawrence, for the Knights. Garcia on the mound today with the batter being Lane Arellano behind the plate. That one just low. Ooh. And Arellano, you probably recognize the name. He was the pitcher yesterday for Jerome that really put out a great performance.
Yeah, right there. He's ready to throw that one around. Real close miss there.
Yeah, he thought it was strike 3. It's going to be instead all the way to 3-2 now after a couple of back-to-back balls.
Interesting to see if the Knights can jump out to early scoring. That seems to be what's been the recipe for success for them.
3-2. Strike 3 call, bottom part of the zone. First batter, first strikeout for the pitcher, Garcia.
Yeah, that was a perfect fastball there to strike the hitter out.
Now it's going to be Croft, the second baseman. In case you're wondering, it's C. Croft. 2 guys on here, as there's Ben Croft, I believe. Is that his first name? And then here, I think it's Carter Croft, but I could not be for certain, so don't want to guess. 1 ball, no strikes.
I was going to say, the Knights, unfortunately, 1 sec.
As that one's low. 2-0.
Yeah, we appreciate the managers getting us the lineups, and, we try not to complain. Just we got the last names for these guys, which is all right. We can live with that and work with it.
2-0 is flying into right field. It's going deep back there. Racing on is Ramsey, and it's over his head. It's going to go all the way as it bounces off the wall. Heading to third is Croft. He's going to be in there with a stand-up, 1-out triple here on the top of the first.
Yeah, Croft has massive power. We saw him the other night when the lightning going on. I think the loudest lightning crack was the crack off of his bat when he hit one off the left field wall about 5 feet from being a home run.
Bright and sunny here at around, 1 o'clock now? 1:05 area for this game time.
Ooh, 1:05. You were exactly right.
Wow, look at that.
No phone over there either. His phone's actually sitting right next to me. That is impressive.
Osterman at the plate.
But that's also your one compliment for the day.
Yeah, I get no more of those. The shortstop at the plate takes a strike from Garcia. And I say it was bright because I had to put on my glasses. I am being blinded right now by the sun. This white book is just shines right back into your eyes. 0-1. A breaking pitch that hits his shoulder.
Or as the weekend would say, blinded by the light.
Ooh.
Yeah, we promise we won't start singing on here. That's going to be the fastest way for the viewer count to just completely drop off as I start belting out of tune. But, I mean, Hilcrest again, once again, in the first inning, a little bit of a rally here. They've scored early and often quite a few times in this tournament.
0-1, first pitch is through the wickets of Arellano. That's going to allow the first run to score. Croft comes home to score, and Osterman goes all the way to the third on the pass ball.
It's good base running there by Osterman. is that ball, usually when it hits the backstop here, it kicks back. Instead, that one rolled right up the net and kind of just landed, so the catcher had to go all the way back to get it. Good heads-up base running from Osterman.
No balls, one ball, no strikes. Garcia, the pitch in the turf. A nice block there as he slides over Arellano. Let's get you the starting lineup for the Hilcrest Knights. It's Lawrence, the right fielder, who led off, struck out to lead off this game. Croft had a triple as he's batting second. Osterman was hit by a pitch. He's now at third, the shortstop. Batting fourth is Nichols here. He's the first baseman. He's on deck. That's on the ground to the third baseman, Harrison. He'll throw across the diamond, and it's in time, but a run does come across to score. It's 2-0 Knights.
Yeah, did a job there. RBI ground out. He's going to get a ton of high fives. When he gets back to the dugout, it's a good at-bat.
So that brings up Bodley, the 5-slot hitter on the third baseman. Smith, the DH, will bat 6th. Lawrence, the catcher, will bat 7th. Beecroft will bat 8th, the center fielder. And McCaslin, the left fielder, will bat in the 9-slot. Garcia, that has slip written all over it, as that just did not come out of the hand right. Let's go through the positioning here of the Jerome Dragons here after this pitch. 1-0. Cut on and miss in the fastball. All right, at first base, it's Hunter Whitaker. Second base, it's Peyton Jackson. At the third base position, it's Brett Harris. 1-1 into shallow, or rather, relatively normal center field. And grabbed there is Berg, excuse me. We'll go to the bottom of the first inning, give you the rest of the lineups for both sides here. We're watching a first Bank of Wyoming presentation of the 2024 Pocatello Woodbat Classic here on MyLocalRadio.com, part of the My Local Radio Sports Network.
Distracted driving is dangerous, but some people just can't seem to help themselves. There's the steering wheel propper, the sneak-a-peeker, the fast roller, the nightlighter. And it's not long until they become the fender benderer, the got-a-ticketer, the veering off the road, the driver who kills someone. Enough with the phones already. Just put them down.
At Reese Auto Service in Lyman, you will find highly skilled mechanics who will get the job done right the first time. They work on anything from light line jobs of tire alignments, suspension work, and oil changes to heavy line jobs of engine replacement, differentials, and all powertrain components. Make sure all your recreational vehicles are working at top speed by getting them checked at Reese Auto Service in Lyman so your time having fun doesn't end early. Reese Auto Service, 541 State Highway 413, Lyman.
Bottom of the first inning as the Knights put across 2 runs in the top of the first. It's Jerome's turn to respond, as we'll give you the starting lineups for the Jerome Dragons. Batting in the leadoff slot, it's the center fielder, Trey Burke. Tayton Van Tassel, he remains in that 2 slot as he did yesterday. He plays left field today. Lane Arellano, the catcher, will bat third. And in the cleanup hole, it's the designated hitter, Andrew Wilson. Brett Harris, the third baseman, will bat in the 5 slot. Noah Ramsey bats 6th and plays right field. The first baseman, Hunter Whitaker, will bat in the 7th slot. And the 8 hole, it's the pitcher, Mason Garcia. And then rounding out the order, Zayden Van Tassel, the shortstop. And then Peyton Jackson, who's being DH for, will play second base. Let's get you the defensive positioning for these Knights. The first baseman is Nichols. The second baseman is Seacroft. And the third baseman is Bodley with Osterman at short. The outfit from left to right, McCaslin, Beecroft, Lawrence, and your battery. It's Belknap on the mound, catching him, and calling the pitches is Lords. Trey Burke is the leadoff batter for Jerome. Here he's playing center field, and he'll take his sacks from the left side. It's an inside pitch for ball 1, and the first pitch for Jerome is a ball. Let's finish out the fielding over quickly for Jerome. Burke in center field, Ramsey in right, Jackson at second, Van Tassel at short, and the battery Garcia with Arellano, the catcher, over there. We'll remind you of that once we get to the top half of the second again, just to kind of make sure we have all our bases covered. Yes, I did say bases. 1 ball, no strikes. Inside once again, 2-0.
Speaking of inside, Burks had an inside-the-park home run in the game against Wood River, Jerome's first game here at the Pocatello Woodbat Classic.
2 balls, no strikes. Belknap on the mound, Burke at the plate. 2 runs across in the top of the first for the Knights. Jerome trying to at least match that. It's a fastball, catches the outer part of the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike.
It's a really good pitch right there, getting back into the count. When you fall behind 2-0. You got to come back with a strike, but you don't want to just throw it right down the middle. You want to try to attack a third of the plate, and he did right there on the outside corner.
2-1 pitch. A breaking pitch that just drops in for strike 2.
Yeah, it's a tough pitch to take as a hitter. You're 2-1, geared up for the fastball, and then he bends in that breaking ball.
So from 2-0 to 2-2, the lefty Burke at the plate. Garcia, or rather Belknap, on the mound. Breaking ball, chopped on the ground, fouled on the first base line.
That's a good job staying alive there. That was a tough pitch just to get rid of. Looked like that was close to the bottom of that zone. Too close to take. Good job there by Burks just to get rid of it. Great pitch on the mound.
Count remains even at 2-2. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Jerome down by 2. 1 hit in that top of the first, by the way. And just poking a ball away to stay alive is Trey Burke.
Give you an update that what happened on the silver side in the first game of the silver semifinals. Rock Springs beat Madison as Rock Springs onto the silver championship game, which is right after this.
2 balls, 2 strikes once again to Burke. Just outside, 3-2. 75 degrees and sunny here in Pocatello. Here on the top field for the second gold semifinal. The Idaho Falls Bruins have already punched their ticket to this 2024 Pocatello Woodbat Classic championship game, which will be held right here at Halliwell Field at 6 o'clock. 3-2. That's skied foul territory, right side. Moving over is the right fielder. He puts out the glove, but it's a minute effort as it goes past him. Lawrence, though, over there, he got a little closer than I expected him to be honest.
Yeah, me too. That ball was drilled. Obviously, it's foul, but that was only about 10 feet away from the warning track. He crushed that ball, especially using a wood bat. That's a super impressive swing there from Burks.
And this is the perfect at-bat for a leadoff hitter. You see a lot of pitches from the starter. You have a 3-2 count. Either way this goes, he's going to get high fives in the dugout. Obviously, he'd like to end it with a base hit. Or a walk, either way works. Well, hit by pitch is also an option. He'll take first base.
You do all that battling, all that grinding, just get plunked. Burks will take it getting on base. You know, incredible at-bat. That's, like you said, that's how you want to start the game. And it gives your teammates an opportunity to see a ton of pitches and see what the pitcher has. One thing about this Jerome lineup, a lot of lefties.
Speaking of lefties, like you mentioned, a lot of them. Burke a lefty. Van Tassel, Tayton that is, going to be the second hitter. Also a lefty playing a left field. Tayton and Zayden, the 2 brothers here. Tayton, the 2-hole, to Zayden, the 9 slot. And he will kind of golf that one foul as he hits a bounding ball to the fence on the first base side.
And one of the cool things about, you know, these teams, a lot of families play together. You're going to have siblings on the team. You get to see the family, how the families decide to name their children. You know, my family went with all A's. Some families go with rhyming names. I think that's really interesting. One of the interesting parts about this job.
Oh, wait, for ball 1. I'm all J's.
Yeah.
So, John, Julie, Jace, Jordan, Jace, or Justin. I forgot one.
Oh, I was going to say, we were all A's for the kids that my mom had with my biological dad. We're all Aaron, Ashley, and Aiden.
Oh,
and then
nice.
when she had another child with a different dad, his name is Jace. So I guess we're technically not all A's. I'm not real good at this thinking thing, I guess. Like halfway through that, I was like, oh, I have a little brother. His name starts with a J.
1 ball, 1 strike to Tayton Van Tassel. Left-handed hitting left fielder. Belknap's pitch is in the turf. Good block at the home plate by the catcher Lords. Runner off first is Burke after he was hit by a pitch on what was I would say, textbook first at bat. 2 balls, 1 strike is the count that I have. It's not the one that they have on the scoreboard, but I don't know which is right. We'll find out. Now it's 2-2 no matter what, I feel like.
I think you are correct.
Pretty sure it's 2-2 as that's chopped foul. Because he hit that first one foul, which was the first strike. He then took 2 balls in a row and then just fouled that one off.
And that is the pitch sequence right there.
Tayton at the plate. Check on the runner is Belknap.
Brought to you by Heritage Auto.
Pop up, left side of the infield. Third baseman Bodily moves over to make the catch. The wind swirling makes that play a little tougher than it normally is for the third baseman, but either way, it is out number 1, and Tayton Van Tassel's set down.
Yeah, infield pop-ups have been an adventure throughout the entirety of the tournament just because the wind typically blows from the third base dugout across the field. So any pop-up on the infield is getting just pushed away from you. On the left side of the infield, it's pushed straight left, where on the other side of the infield, it's getting pushed diagonally away.
First pitch, the new batter, Lane Arellano, who is the catcher, as it slide away for ball number 1. One out in the inning now with the runner at first base and Burke. Belknap shakes his head to accept the pitch, and at the hip, the fire. Runner goes, fouled straight back. Burke was taking off on the pitch, a little hit and run action that ultimately just ends in a 1-1 count, and he'll have to go back to first after the foul ball. Lane Arellano, the pitcher who really got Jerome to this point yesterday, went an exceptional 6 innings. Maybe have 7. Can't remember exactly. I think it was just 6 because they had the run roll. 2-1 now to Lane. Lane normally at the catcher position where he plays today. But a huge reason why Jerome was able to be playing here today on Saturday. Pick off a Tim, sliding back in safely is Burke without really a contest, not even a tag placed. Burke, a couple steps off first. And the ball is hit to first, but it's foul. And no play made over there by that first base coach. Made an effort. Couldn't get the ball.
Well, did he make an extraordinary effort?
No.
You have to mark that as an error. Sorry, coach, by rule.
EFB. 2-2. Pickoff attempt again. No tag placed. It stays 2-2 after the pickoff, obviously.
Yeah, Burke over there at first base. He's got wheels, so it's a good job by the Knights trying to keep him.
Well, he took off on that one hit and run opportunity, and since then they've been watching him very closely. Way outside. I think that ball slipped on the curveball.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes when that curveball just comes out of your hand a little off, you grip it so tightly that it just kind of spins out every once in a while, and it just kind of loops. And it turns in from a breaking ball that's going to break away from a right-handed batter to it kind of almost looks like a screwball that's going to go way high.
3-2 is ball 4 taken by Lane Arellano.
That's a great take because that was just off the plate outside.
Moves Burke to second. Arellano on with a walk. The second technical free pass as Burke was hit by a pitch. And now we go to the 4 slot, who is, guess what, another lefty, the designated hitter, Andrew Wilson.
Interesting way that Jerome relays their signs. We go to the numbers.
Looks to bunt, pulls back, takes a strike.
The coach for Jerome, initially I thought he was shaking his fist at someone. No, what he was doing is relaying the numbers. Instead of yelling them, he just gives, like, it was a 1, 0, and a 2. He uses his hand instead. And he puts his hand way in the air just to make sure that everyone can see it.
And listen to the stat line from Wilson here after this pitch from his game yesterday. Big hack strike. Wilson yesterday, double, hit by pitch, single, a stolen base, 3 scored runs.
Whew. It's a heck of a shift.
He's got 2 strikes on him here with a runner at first and second. 1 out in the inning here in the bottom of the first. They're trailing by 2. And again, the curveball. He can't snap his wrist. You saw the pitcher there, Belknap, kind of make an arm motion of trying to snap his wrist. He's not getting the snap properly.
I wonder if he throws a couple different breaking balls because he's thrown a couple of them that have been really good. Obviously, those 2 that we haven't been able to see break, I wonder if they're different variations of that pitch.
1-2. Just fouled. I think that one that he's trying to throw is a definite 12-6 curveball because he's having that flick of the wrist like, I need to flip it more.
Yeah.
But he has something that slides. I mean, obviously it could be a slider, but it comes out of the hand not like a slider would usually come.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't seen a changeup yet, to my recollection. Low, 2-2.
You know, he very well could be throwing maybe like a sweeping breaking ball and a 12-6 breaking ball. Because, you know, you recognize breaking ball out of the hand as a batter, but if you expect it to break across the plate and it doesn't, you can get a swing and a miss that way, even if they time it up.
2-2, fouled off on the hands.
And that one right there looked like it was a little more 12-6 than it was side to side. But that was a very good pitch in on the inner third. That's a great job there, just fouling it off.
Arellano stands off first. He had a good game yesterday as well. Hit by pitch, a walk, and a double. Broken bat pop to the left side. It'll go foul, and we'll have to see if we'll have to get a new piece of lumber.
It's always funny in these wood bat tournaments when a sound like that off the bat happens. Never fails. Both the umpire and the catcher always go and look at that bat, and yep.
That sounded like it broke, so unfortunate for that.
That's the second broken bat I've seen in this tournament that has been broken. I've seen one get shattered. That was Tony Natoli, who just got to the Evanston Outlaws this weekend. His first game with the Outlaws, he shatters one of his teammates' brand new wooden bats.
Welcome to the team. 2-2 again. Strike 3 called, a breaking ball that dots the top corner, and a great pitch from Belknap gets his second out of the inning.
Yeah, that was that nice 12-6 breaking ball that started above the zone, came back to the strike zone. As we're going to get a courtesy runner.
Yeah, going to take Arellano off, put a courtesy runner over there at first. We ever find out the ruling of the courtesy runner that we had last?
Yeah, so I went and talked to the coach, and it's exactly what we thought it was, where because they had him pinch hit, the courtesy runner was done.
So you have to have a designated courtesy runner for a player?
Yes.
And then if he is pinch hit, you cannot use him anymore because he's in the game?
Yes, if you sub him into the game, you can't use him anymore.
Okay.
We do not know if you sub him out of the game.
Can he re-enter? Yeah. Fouled away, out of play.
My guess would be probably not.
I would think so. I mean, you can re-enter, though.
Yeah.
But as a courtesy runner, is that technically re-entering? Because you never really, enter the game.
Yeah.
0-1, Brett Harrison, the third baseman at the plate with runners at first and second. And the breaking ball hits him.
Oof.
Another hit by pitch, and now the base is loaded off 2 hit by pitches and a base on balls.
Well, time to settle in on the mound here. This is very similar to how the game started for the Knights yesterday. They scored 2 runs in the inning, come back, struggle just a little bit in the bottom half of the inning, but they're able to find it. See if they can continue to try to find it as the third lefty of the game for Jerome to the plate.
It's Noah Ramsey, the right fielder, with a runner at every base. 2 outs, and he takes for strike 1.
And, we get so used to seeing that in Major League Baseball, you don't think it's that rare, but at this age, it's amazing. It seems like teams usually maybe have 1 or 2 lefties. I have no teams that don't have any lefties at all. But to have 3 in your first 6 batters, that's incredible.
The 0-1 pitch from Belknap. A cut and a miss for strike 2. Harrison yesterday went 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and a couple of runs scored. Also got hit by a pitch.
I mean, lineup side balance doesn't much matter when you don't have lefties waiting in the pen to come out and get these left-handers out. But it's just interesting.
Ramsey walked 2 times yesterday. This time lifts it into shallow center field. Coming on quick is Croft, and he hardly has to come on, actually, as it goes a little bit deeper than I thought. And the bases will remain loaded as they strand 3 in the bottom of the first. Knights lead 2-0 as we head to the second inning. You're watching a First Bank of Wyoming presentation of the 2024 Pocatello Woodbat Classic here on mylocalradio.com.
Out here, we've always worked remote. Out here, stress usually refers to the pull on a rope. Where a stroll in the city is also a stroll in the great outdoors. Where work is a way of life, and life is good. Out here, the backyards are big, and the deals, they're even bigger. This is southwestern Wyoming, and it's where you can get the biggest deals on a vehicle you want with plenty of hometown hospitality. Heritage Auto, your hometown dealer with the biggest deals.
Friends don't let friends drink bad coffee. Come visit For Pete's Sake for fresh-made coffee. An amazing menu of home-cooked meals and great company. Visit For Pete's Sake on the corner of 9th and Main, downtown Evanston.
Welcome back in here. Sorry for the technical difficulties as trying to make sure all of our equipment stays cool through this hot time. And it's a 3-pitch strikeout here to lead us off in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, nicely done. Very efficient. Let's see if the pitcher on the mound can settle in after first inning that got away from them a bit. You allow 2 runs, but you can settle in. We saw in the first game, giving up runs in that inning and then holding your team in it is a very valuable thing to do as a pitcher.
Next batter is Lords. He takes a strike. And in case, I don't know if you heard this or not, but in the first inning, the Tigers sent 5 batters. The Knights sent 4 batters, except the Knights scored 2 runs. The Tigers scored none. Baseball.
It's one of my new favorite sayings, just the hands up rainbow emoji, baseball.
1-1 pitch to Lords. He watches a strike at our half.
There's something about sports that aren't very straightforward. They just make it a lot of fun.
And That's going to be a foul ball left side.
Well, heads up bullpen.
Lords did not play in yesterday's contest against the Rigby Trojans. It's the 8-1 seed, and the 8 seed, the Knights, ended up with the victory. That's exactly why the Tigers are the home team today, because although they are the 5 seed, they are higher than the 8. No matter what, though, whoever wins this game, well, maybe that's fouled off. What seed were the Bruins? They were 6. So I guess if Jerome wins, they'll be the home seed in the Gold Championship.
Really? They fell all the way to 6? I couldn't believe that. It was a crazy semifinal that is very fitting of being a final first game.
And again, staying alive, going the other way this time with a fly ball. Wow, great effort over there at third base from Harrison. He was actually way closer than I thought he was going to be.
Not a great effort there from the bullpen security.
Yeah,
You're supposed to be watching the game so you can protect your bullpen guys. You're sitting there chatting with the guy catching as the ball goes in the air. He looked up for a split second, then he ducked out of the way.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Foul
Oof.
right off the mask. Catcher turns right around and says he's okay.
It's pretty good at bat here, and of course we're only joking with the bullpen kid. He's locked in right now.
Someone told him, hey, that's not your job.
Yeah, lesson learned.
2-2. On the ground through the left side. The shortstop's actually going to corral it, but he's going to have no play as the speed of Lords gets him an infield single there. Great play, though, from Van Tassel. I honestly thought he had no shot.
Yeah, I didn't think he had a shot at getting to the ball, let alone making it a play where the runner's only safe by a maybe step or half a step. Yeah, that was a really good play from shortstop.
I say he wasn't close. I mean, that was closer than some plays I've said before. So
yeah.
Croft is the batter, and now he is going to be, slides back in safe. Man, he was beat on that, but just got a hand in.
Yeah, what he did there is he slid to the outside part of the bag, or else he was toast. The throw, luckily for him, he had to be picked out of the dirt, or else that would have been an out.
Garcia's pitch is flown into foul territory on the right side, and it will land in foul territory over by the Knights bullpen area. No one over there, though.
Yeah.
Garcia on the mound here for the Tigers. Obviously, we mentioned somebody warming up in the left field side, and that's because, well, it's win or go home. So no reason to leave arms sitting on the bench. And obviously, you have a championship game, but you got to win this to be there. You can't save pitching for a game that you're not guaranteed. 1 out here in the inning. That out was Trey Smith as he struck out. Another fly ball into foul territory on the first base side. Moving over is Ramsey, but it'll land about 10 feet in front of him. So no play, 2 strikes on Croft. Runner off first, Garcia. I believe a 1-2 count. Runner goes. They're going to throw down. It's grabbed. No tag made as the throw was a bit offline. A great throw from Erlano. Probably would have had him out, but I specify great throw. It had to be great.
Yeah, it had to be perfect. Little note down there at the bullpen. Catching the bullpen was number 82, Caleb Jones, who isn't the only Caleb Jones that wears 82. So does the Colorado Avalanche defender who plays in the NHL.
That's up high.
Curious to know if possibly that could be why he wears that number.
One ball, 2 strikes. Pitch outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and 2. Garcia checks the run of the pitch. That's a skied fly ball into left center field. Moving over is the center fielder, Burke. He makes the basket catch.
That is
long distance to cover, but he records the second out.
That's a phenomenal effort. We talked about when he was at the plate. He's got wheels. You know, typically, unless you're Prince Fielder, you have to be super fast to hit inside the park home run. He was there, as it looks like we're going to get a pitching change right here.
I think we're going to have a pitching change. 2 outs in the inning after the fly out from Croft.
Yeah, Rosenbach took the brunt of that because I don't think the pitcher wants to come out. I don't blame him.
It could be a pitch count scenario here.
Yeah. Possibly trying to say, well, we're going to get a conversation first. So
Let's see if he takes him. That is the head coach, so he can remove him. Technically, anybody can. You just don't really see the pitching coach come out there and remove him.
Yeah, so what you're telling me is pitching coach
Not going to take him out?
I think just maybe a conversation, possibly only has a few pitches left. But, you know, like you said, you have to win to get into the championship game. And, you know, you want to have someone for the championship game, so it's tempting to save that arm just in case you get there. But also at the same time, you could end up not getting to the championship game with only using your best pitcher 35 pitches. So it's that interesting back and forth that you have to have as a manager.
2-2. Or excuse me, that's the first pitch here to McCaslin. Count number reset. No balls now, or rather 1 ball now, and no strikes. 2 outs in the inning with a runner at second base. The Knights up by 2 on Jerome, so Garcia really looking to keep that at just a 2-0 deficit. A base hit here could make it 3, though. Checks the runner. Fires a strike, fastball outer part, 1-1.
It's a great pitch. And, you know, you got to settle in if you're the pitcher. A little upset that thought the manager was coming to get him. But after the conversation, he's still on the mound, so you just got to re-lock in.
1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Popped straight up. A home run in a silo, but an out here. We go to the bottom of the second inning, 2-0 Knights. We'll come back with the Jerome Tigers to see what they can do if they can claw into this lead. We'll be right back here. You're watching a First Bank of Wyoming presentation of the 2024 Pocatello Woodback Classic here on MyLocalRadio.com, part of the My Local Radio Sports Network.
Great signage is an important component to any successful business. It lets your customers know they have arrived at your doors, and it's a constant advertisement of who you are. When you install LED signage, you're taking it one step further. The ability to create color messages that move is an attention grabber. Plus, you can change the message whenever you would like. Make your business stand out with an LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign, providing service, installation, and maintenance on all signage. Rocky Mountain Sign in Wyoming and Utah. Call today for a quote, 307-789-5202.
It's lunchtime, and I'm stuck at the office.
Jackalope, the big game is on. I can't miss it just to pick up groceries.
Jackalope.
Mom, I need supplies for my school project.
Jackalope.
Doing the hopping for your shopping. Jackalope Delivery, 307-679-7174.
Jackalope.
Welcome back here, bottom of the second inning. Tigers down by 2. They'll have the bats trying to cut into that deficit with Belknap back out on the mound his second inning. It's going to be Hunter Whitaker, Mason Garcia, and Zayden Van Tassel, the 7, 8, 9 batters for the Tigers. Belknap in the first inning was able to escape a bases-loaded 2-out jam. Here he throws a first-pitch swinging strike to Hunter Whitaker. 0-1. The Tigers, the 5 seed. The Knights, the 8 seed. Looking for a championship berth with a win in this game. That stays high.
We apologize about the scoreboard. We will get that fixed in a moment. We're trying to fix something real quick. We'll keep you up to date on the balls and strikes.
That's low. 2 balls, 1 strike. As it's Belknap on the mound with a 2-1 count. The pitch. Strike called, Hunter half. 2-2. Whitaker yesterday started out this inning, struck out, and then Mason Garcia reached on an E5. He's over at first base as the 2-2 pitch is socked into center field. But right there to grab it is Croft. That was Zayden Van Tassel, who is out on the L line out to the center fielder L8. Trey Burke, who was hit by a pitch in the first inning, comes back here in the second with a runner at first base. The Tigers down by 2 here in the top, or rather bottom of the second. 2-0 your score. Runner off first. And a ball right to the first baseman, off his glove into right field. The second baseman, Croft, chases it, but it's Lawrence who almost loses it there. He put his glove down and didn't go into it. And so we're going to call that a single for Burke. And now you got Tayton Van Tassel with 2 outs and 2 runners on. I gotcha. 1 ball, nobody out. 2 outs. Van Tassel at the plate. And that curveball is up high. Tayton Van Tassel, the left fielder, he popped out back in the first. Runners off first and second. There's a strike, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 runners on. Not at the head of the pitcher, Belknap. And the pitch, just foul tipped. 1-2. Van Tassel with a base hit could get the first run across for the Jerome Tigers. Down by 2 right now in an elimination game. Chance to go to the championship against the Idaho Falls Bruins. 1-2. Just outside, 2-2. One ball, or rather 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, inside.
Hiking in the summer, hunting in the fall, and sledding in the winter are a vital part of living in Lyman, Wyoming. Visiting the historic Heritage Park with its splash pad and updated playground are a must for summertime activities. Visit the new Frisbee golf course and make new memories with your family and friends. The town of Lyman is a quiet, peaceful place with some of the best residents in the state. Stop in today and make some new friends and memories that will last forever.
Dad, I feel like I got something in my eye.
Let me have a look. Natural protective features of the eye, such as eyebrows, eyelids, eyelashes, and tears, are not always enough. The eye, such as eyebrows, eyelids, eyelashes, and tears, are not always enough. I've been helping people for 14 years, removing anything from metal, glass, or plastic from their eyes. I've even removed a bug that flew into my own eye. At Uinta Eye and Vision, we can help you find the perfect eye protection for playing sports or performing hazardous work to help prevent eye injuries.
Call Uinta Eye and Vision today to schedule your appointment to protect your precious eyesight. Uinta Eye and Vision, 307-789-3937.
Welcome back here to the top of the 3rd inning. Jerome Tigers trail the Hilcrest Knights 2-0 here in the second gold semifinal game. The Idaho Falls Bruins have already punched their ticket to the championship later today at 6 o'clock. One of these teams will meet them there, but who will it be? Back on the mound is Garcia as he fires a first pitch swinging strike, a little foul tip there. Garcia going from the windup here as he toes the rubber on the first base side, the 0-1. Popped foul out of play, first base side. At the plate, it's Lawrence, the right fielder. He struck out back in the first. You're having your own 1, 2, and 3 batters here in the top of the 3rd for the Knights. Those 1, 2, and 3 were the start of their only runs in the game, scored 2 in the top of the first. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Lawrence. That one stays outside, 2-2. Wind starting to gust around here in Pocatello, 2-2. Just outside. Catcher wanted the strike call, so did the pitcher. They don't get it, it's 3-2. Garcia looking for a base hit or ball 4. Or rather, Lawrence looking for a base hit, ball 4. He pops it up. First base side. Right on the infield fair foul line. It's Whitaker who makes the catch. So a pop out for Lawrence. The first out here in the top of the third. Croft steps in. He tripled his first time up. That was in the first inning. Came around to score. He watches a strike. Breaking ball finds the inner chunk of the zone. And Garcia from the windup here, the 0-1. Breaking ball again, this time not a strike, 1-1. One and one goes up high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Tigers have struggled at the plate. They had bases loaded, but it was walk, hit by pitch, walk, hit by pitch that had those 3 runners on, as this one's fouled and into foul territory safely. Just a long strike there, 2-2 to Croft. Meanwhile, you look on the other side. Croft has the one of 2 hits, triple in the first. There was a single by Lords in the second. And that one's taken for a ball, 3-2. But on the other side, no base hits, or rather just 1 base hit for the Tigers. There was a single by Burke last inning. Croft here takes a walk. Runner on for the Knights. And the Knights, again, the 8 seed here. And, you know, we've watched them a lot. They did not look like an 8 seed when coming into this tournament, but here they are, and, well, they defeated the 1 seed Rigby Trojans last night. Now trying to take down the 5 seed Jerome Tigers to advance to the championship against the Idaho Falls Bruins. Runner off first, Lawrence, the pitch. Foul, tipped into the mitt for strike 1. Osterman is the batter, the shortstop. He was hit by a pitch back in the first. He came around to score as he is the other runner. So the 1 run standing on first, the 2nd run standing at home plate, and those are the only 2 that we've seen this entire game. 0-1. Pick off at Tim, sliding in, and that kind of actually saved a bag as because he slid that ball, hit the body of Croft, and so that will prompt the first baseman Whitaker to just kind of walk the back ball over to Garcia again.
Yeah, fortunate break there. We'll get back to running the scoreboard as we have what we needed to get fixed. We appreciate your patience, and we apologize. We just want to make sure that we get everything that we need to have up and ready to go.
0-1. Inside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at first is Croft. Osterman, the shortstop, trying to increase this 2-0 lead. Garcia's pitch, the runner takes off. They're going to throw down, and 1 hopped. Doesn't make the clean grab at short. Don't know if he would have been out either way. So it's a stolen bag for Croft.
Yeah, it almost looks like from here he tagged in between the arms of the runner. Looked like the hand would have been in there anyways, but that's a great jump. That's a great throw, too. That's pretty close play at second. Doesn't get much closer than that.
That is C. Croft. B. Croft is back in the 8th slot. And do apologize. Don't have the first names for these Knights. As there's a lot of games going on. It's a lot for a manager to keep in track, and we're just happy to have at least something to talk about.
We could just call him. We could call him Crush Croft because it seems like every time he makes contacts, he crushes the ball. Yeah, has a double here, doubled off the wall in the last night of the game on Thursday.
3-1 in the air, foul territory, first base. Second baseman moving over. It's going to land safely in between the second baseman Jackson and the right fielder Ramsey. Both were in the vicinity, but neither able to get there.
Yeah, that ball just happened to be in no man's land. If it's 5 feet closer to the infield, it's caught. If it's 5 feet further to the outfield, it's probably caught. So they just happened to land in the perfect spot for it to stay alive.
3 balls, 2 strikes to the batter, Osterman. Looking to reach base like he did last time. Well, of course, had some pain with that one. He strikes out on this pitch, though, a fastball on the outer part and just laces the black for strike 3.
It's a nice fastball on the outside corner. Seen that a couple of times where you get to the 3-2 pitch and just absolutely dots a fastball in a perfect spot.
Nichols steps up the first baseman, grounded out back in the first as his only AB in the day. Has the blue bat, but doesn't swing it here as he watches a ball.
That's another interesting aspect of this tournament is some of the bats that we've seen there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cool designs. Saw a blue and pink one that we really liked. And that's going to hit the batter Nichols, so now runner off first and second.
It looks like the ball got hurt more by that one than Nichols did, as he is a
Yeah.
big, sturdy kid.
And we saw that the first game as these Knights played in the literal first game of the tournament, and he had a couple of cracks in that game. 2 outs. Hard to believe that was 4 days ago.
Yeah, right.
In some aspects, it feels like yesterday. In other aspects, it feels like 2 years ago. Bodley, the batter. He watches a strike. Bodley was the pitcher on the mound for what was a great game between the Razorbacks on, what was that, Wednesday night? It had to have been Wednesday night.
Yes.
0-1. And a nice block by Arellano. 1 ball, 1 strike.
To be honest with you, you could say that was a great game between the Knights and whoever is on the other side because they've played in some really, really good baseball games.
Yeah, well, what, 7-4 in their first game, and a pretty dang good game against, who was that? Shelley? Malad.
Malad, yep.
Malad. And then they had the obvious good game against Blackfoot 2 nights ago.
Yep.
Last night they had the game against Rigby, which was, I mean, for all terms of 8 beating a 1 seed in that fashion.
I mean, they've won the nightcap game the last 2 days, looking to do it for a 3rd time in a row in the Gold Championship, but they have to get past Jerome to do that.
1 ball, 1 strike. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I'd like to remind you that we have the Silver Championship game on the field over here at Halliwell coming up next as Rock Springs will play the winner of the game going on at Hawthorne right now.
2-1. And it's a bounding ball. Ooh, shortstop Fantassel gets to it, but he had no play. They honestly may have saved a run.
Yeah.
Because I think they were going to send that runner from third as Croft will have to stay put. But no out, and an infield single for Bodley brings up Smith. Now, Smith struck out the first time. There is 2 outs in the inning, so if you're Jerome, you're 1 out away from keeping this just a 2-run deficit.
Yeah, that would have taken a laser from the left fielder to try to throw that runner out because that ball is probably going to die about 5 feet into the outfield.
First pitch is a fastball that stays outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Smith the DH, like I mentioned. One and 0. The pitch. Strike call at outer half.
It's a great fastball right there. See if on the 1-1 pitch he tries to test the limits of that outside corner.
1 ball, 1 strike. Bases loaded. The pitch. Flying into shallow right field, moving out the second baseman Jackson. It falls into no man's land. 1 run comes across. Here comes the second. It's a throw in, but it's at the pitcher's mound when the third baseman grabs it. He has no play at the plate. 2 runs come across to score on the Texas leaguer from Trey Smith.
Yeah, sometimes it's not about as hard as you hit it. It's about where you hit it, and that just happened to be perfectly placed. And that throw, it looks like the right fielder got a little confused there. He didn't know where to go with the ball. You saw that second runner coming home. I think it was the right play, just getting it in, trying to stop the runner from going to second, because I think that Nichols was going to score. It's just he kind of slowed up when he saw the right fielder slide the ball, so it makes it look like he should have thrown it home to get that out.
So Croft scores from third, Nichols scores from second, Bodley goes from first to third, and Smith now at first. First pitch fastball catches the zone. This is Lords. He has a single in the game. 2 singles in this inning alone, which doubled their hit total. That's fouled away over our heads and into the parking lot. Just missed a car. Whoa, that was going to shatter something. 0-1.
Lesson learned at the Pocatello Wood Bat Tournament, do not park in the front row.
Not even close. Runner goes, a swing and a miss, then they fake the throw down. Doesn't matter, though, because that's strike 3. So Lords is set down on 3 pitches, but 2 runs do come across the score, and the Knights double their lead. It's 4-0 in the Uinta I Envision third inning. We'll be right back here on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
Auto, home, life, renters, and business all have one thing in common. They all need insurance. Choosing the right agent is always hard. Choose the agent that takes a professional and individual approach to each client. At Farmers Insurance in Lyman, you will find that agent. Farrell is a down-to-earth person who loves hunting, fishing, and above all, his family. Come in and visit him and his friendly staff for a quote today at 37 Mountain Meadow Street, Suite B in Lyman.
At Wi-Hi, we're with you is more than just 3 simple words. It encompasses the principles we live by to serve our members and local communities. So if you're looking to keep your banking relationships local with a partner who will always be there for you, look to us. We're Wi-Hi. We're Wyoming. We're with you. Visit yhi.org to learn how you can be a part of something bigger today.
Bottom of the third, 4-0 Knights lead the Tigers here in the semifinals of the gold bracket here at the 2024 Pocatello Woodbat Classic. Jace Andrews, Aaron Poling hanging out with you here on this bright and sunny day. 75 degrees and not a cloud in the sky. I mean, there's like, I guess, little tails of clouds here and there, but like not an official cloud, I would say.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I was going to try to think of a cloud type to, I wouldn't call it an incubus cloud, but I don't even know if that's right, so please don't roast me.
Cumulonimbus.
Yeah, I would say please don't roast me in the comments, guys. I'm trying. I don't know clouds.
Dan's a weatherman, so we're always talking about weather when he's here. So
yeah, so is Anthony. Anthony last weekend at the 2024 Wyoming Shrine Bowl during the lightning delay, he was I call it DJing, but he was basically just letting people know a bunch of different stuff and giving updates on the weather. But halfway through, he just starts listing off all of his weather credentials from his time at Southern Utah University when he was working in the student program, and didn't have that. Had to call him George Stephanopoulos on air. I know that. I don't know clouds, but I know that. That's only because we only had ABC growing up.
A fisted foul ball to the dugout of the Knights by Lane Arellano. 3, 4, and 5 to bat here in the top, or rather bottom of the third inning for the Tigers. Lane Arellano, Andrew Wilson, Brett Harrison. Those 3 have walked, struck out, and been hit by a pitch. In that order. 0-1. Great breaking ball, but a better eye by Arellano as he lays off it.
Talk about umpires having it tough. Weathermen might be the only people that people get mad at more than umpires.
I don't never get mad at my weatherman.
Well, you live in Texas. It's 105 degrees every day.
Why do people get mad at weather? They can't change it. They're just telling you.
Yeah, but there's been times in Michigan where there's no rain in the forecast today, and then out of nowhere it thunderstorms, and people blame the weatherman just because the weather changed so quickly. But I don't. It's a tough job. I guess that's regional.
Yeah, I agree with that. 1-2, strike 3 called. A backwards K for Belknap, and Arellano will head back to the dugout.
That was a nice fastball.
Okay, the Knights.
And a pretty good chirp.
That was pretty funny.
It's a pretty good chirp.
If you didn't hear, I'll say it for just educational purposes. This isn't us. The Knights dugout goes. Instead of phone, I think you just got rung up. Oh, that's funny. A ball outside there to Andrew Wilson. I haven't heard that one. Credit to the Knights.
Yeah,
that's a new one. I haven't heard that.
The home run in a silo. I hadn't heard that one either.
You haven't heard that?
Yeah,
that's
never heard
that one. That's a staple
in
Texas. That's a staple. I use that all the time. Goes low. 2-0. Andrew Wilson, the DH, struck out looking his first time up. Mentioned his line in the game last evening, or rather, yesterday morning, I guess, at this point. He was great. I went 3 for 3 with a double and 2 singles and a walk. Or a hit batsman, 2-0. There's a absolutely perfectly placed 12-6 curveball.
Yeah, you throw that 2-0. That's just unfair to the hitter. You're sitting dead red for a fastball, and you get the Uncle Charlie. That's a tough adjustment to make. But now in the box, you have to know you could get that 2-1 as well.
2-1. Fouls it 2-2.
See, that's a pretty center-cut fastball at the belt. Throwing that curveball 2-0, landing the strike, kind of gives you that fastball right there where the batter's a little bit late because they're in between, not knowing what to expect.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the inning. The Tigers trail by 4. Belknap's pitch drops to the turf. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It's a really good breaking ball at that back foot. It's a tough pitch to hit, tough pitch to lay off. Good pitch, great take by the hitter as well.
2-1. Look in. And Belknap out the hip, ready. Outside, ball 4.
Or ball 3, I guess.
He literally, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Hello. That was the full count pitch. I'm not wrong here.
No, he wants to hit. Like Albert Bell just refusing to take his base after getting hit. He wants to hit.
I'm good. Speaking of hit bats, me and Dan started talking about how it was, sometimes when you get those curveballs that hit you, it's like, oh, I'm glad I got hit with that one. I'll take first base. And got to talking about JT Realmuto catching a ball in the batter's box, handing it back to the catcher, and then realizing, oh, yeah, I still got hit technically, so I'll take my bag. Because the umpire was like, yeah, you caught it, but you kind of dodged it, but you just put the hand out there and caught it, so it's still your bag.
Yeah.
Brett Harrison at the plate. A little bounding ball to the shortstop, Osterman. He goes to second for 1, and unable to get it out of the glove is Cross. So they'll get the lead runner, though. And there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Let me bummed out they didn't get the ground ball double play there. That wasn't hit very hard, but for Croft, he didn't exchange it cleanly. That's a smart play. As a second baseman, you have your back turned when you're catching the ball. Not back turned, but you're looking away from the bag. You're not coming across seeing it like the shortstop, where if you're a second baseman, if you don't have that handle on it and you turn the gun to first, that could lead to a missed throw, and it's just so much better if you can't grab it cleanly. Just eat it.
Runner off first, 2 outs. First pitch. Is that fair?
It appears so.
Foul ball.
I'm going to say foul ball. Hit the batter.
Oh, there's confusion now. They're saying foul ball.
They're saying foul ball, yeah. The way that the batter reacted felt like it was off his foot.
Yeah. We're here in the bottom of the Uinta I Envision 3rd inning, where our vision is to improve yours. It's 4-0 the score. Knights, the 8th seed over the 5 seed Tigers, 4-0. Runner off first is Brett Harris. He came over there on a fielder's choice. And now it's Ramsey at the plate. And with an 0-1 count, that ball slips away from the catcher Lords, and easily to second is Harris. He's into scoring position with 2 outs.
That one just got away. If you're the Tigers right here, opportunity to get yourself on the board. If you can scratch this run across, you might not be able to score all 4 at the one time, but you get one here in this opportunity, that could be huge, especially with a 2-out rally.
Yeah, you get one here, get one there, and just slowly claw back. Fouled away. 1-2.
And I've actually used that pun quite a bit with a Tiger, and I used it with a Wolverine earlier.
Yeah.
We don't mean to.
I honestly I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, we don't mean to do it as a pun. It's just a word that I think we both happen to use quite a bit. Scratching away at the lead.
Is there other ways to say that? Scratch,
Probably.
claw. 1-2 pitch just outside Knight's dugout. Man, they were ready to stand up and be ready for that. 2-2 now.
You could chip away at it too.
Chip it away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at first base. No, runners. Runner at second base. Belknap on the mound. Breaking ball, staying alive at the plate on the foul ball is Ramsey. Ramsey flew out back in the 1st inning. That ended the inning, as it was to the center fielder on the fly ball. Trying to get a base hit here that would potentially push across the first run for Jerome.
Update on the other side, Malad currently on top 3-0 over Stansbury.
And that's fisted into left field. Fair ball. They're going to send the runner as he will head home. That's going to be an RBI single. Ramsey thought about second, Stace put it first. And coming around to score is Brett Harris. It's 4-1. Tigers get on the board.
That's a great piece of hitting right there. You battle, you battle, you battle. You get something you can just handle enough to land that out softly into left field for an RBI single. As that, don't discredit that 2-out RBI right there. Also, great play in left field. Understanding that sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. Just because you want to come up, you want to gun that runner down. But if you do that, you allow that runner to move to second, and now a base hit would cut the deficit in half to 4-2.
First pitch is a base hit right off the foot of the pitcher, Belknap. Second baseman, bare hands Kraft can't get it as it gets away from behind into the outfield grass. Boy, what a play that was. It was a rocket back to the pitcher, off his foot. Second baseman then tried to go for it. It kind of took a weird angle, went under his glove. And now you got runners at first and second. And over at first, you could see Whitaker, his hands were stinging on that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was a really good pitch. Unfortunate result for the Knights. Sometimes you make too good of a pitch, a ground ball off the pitcher's foot, trying to get out of the way so his middle infielders can field it. They have to change their route to the ball, makes it a tougher play.
That goes down as a single as the next pitch is to the pitcher, Mason Garcia, and it's up high. Well, technically, Garcia is the tying run. As there's runners off first and second, and Belknap accepts the pitch. Check on the runner, now look back to the plate. Big hack, got a miss at the out of the zone pitch high. We're going to have a runner here for Whitaker. Whitaker, the first baseman, so I wonder if
he doesn't. He looks like he's kind of gingerly coming off.
I don't know what happened there, but don't want to speculate, so he'll head back to the dugout. Breaking ball, what an eye there from Garcia.
As they usually with a courtesy runner, you do it before the first two pitches are thrown. So hopefully he's all right, though.
2-1. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Tigers putting together a little bit of a 2-out rally. Already have 1 in the inning to cut the lead to 3. They're trying to do much more if they can.
Part of building the momentum here, if they can get that tying run on base, just makes you feel better about your chances going forward.
That's hit foul. So now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners who are off first and second will be off on the pitch.
Base hit to the outfield is going to score a run here, especially with that runner getting a head start, stealing on the pitch 3-2 as everyone's going to be unleashed. So it'd have to be absolutely stung to the outfield for no run to score on the play.
Full count pitch. Runners go. Popped foul out of play to the first or third base side, rather than to the stands over there on the third base side.
Well, base runner's getting a little bit of conditioning in.
Yeah, get going.
That's the worst when you're on base and someone's just battling a 3-2 and you're stealing every pitch. I've gotten to 4 or 5 different opportunities where I had to go back to first, and it's not that fun.
Full count pitch. And he'll look back.
This manager of the Rock Spring Stallions, Rocky Rondinelli, kind of snuck up on us as he will be playing in the Silver Championship game coming up next on MyLocalRadio.com.
Full count pitch popped up right over our heads and once again stays alive.
As one of his players about got hit with the ball and maybe would have lost it for the championship game. Heads up over there as that nearly got some of the Pocatello Razorback coaching staff.
Yeah, took out a drink almost.
Oh, no.
Full count. Once again, runners off first and second. They'll be off on the pitch. Tigers down by 3. Belknap, the pitch. In the turf, ball 4, bases are loaded.
That's an incredible at-bat right there. Battled all the way back to 3-2, fouled off 3 pitches. Lays off a pretty good breaking ball right there, but when you see 7, 8 pitches, you see the whole arsenal. You can kind of recognize it the second, third time through in the at-bat.
That'll bring up Zayden Van Tassel. He's the 9th slot in the lineup. He lined out his first time up, and he's got a player at every base. First pitch is away. 1 ball, no strikes. Zayden's brother, Tayton, batted second. And now it's time for Zayden to try and hopefully come through for the Tigers with the bases loaded. That's away as well. 2-0. Zayden in the game yesterday was hit by a pitch, stole a bag, and came around to score, and then had 2 strikeouts, so 0 for 2. Be a huge spot for him to come through here in the 9-hole. 2-0. Swings, flies, right side. Out of play, 1-2. And I'll tell you what, Van Tassel, a true baseball player with no batting gloves right there. That's old school.
Yeah.
With the wood bat, too.
Or just got a little pine tar on there, too. Yeah, some players just like to bat without batting gloves. It makes you feel a little more connected with the bat. You feel like you can control it a little bit better.
Garcia at first, Whitaker at second, Ramsey at third. Van Tassel at the plate. On the ground, left side, third baseman. Bonnelly misplays it, no play. A run comes across to score on the error, and the lead is now 2.
Boy, how have things changed in this inning. A 2-out single on a 2-strike pitch where the batter just kind of plops it into left field. Another single off of the pitcher that the second baseman tried to bare hand, tried to make a great play. Single, couple of free passes, and there an error. Now it's a 4-2 game.
Trey Burke at the plate, the leadoff hitter in the order, watches high. Burke is the 8th batter to bat in this inning, and a base hit could tie it up.
I think if you'd have told Jerome at the start of the inning, 2 outs, bases loaded, leadoff hitter at the plate, I think they would have taken that every time. This has been an incredible inning with 2 outs.
1-0, stays outside, 2-0.
And that's a skill that teams can learn. I mean, grinding out innings with 2 outs, sometimes teams get to that second out and they just kind of throw in the towel. We'll get you next inning. You can still rally and battle with that second out.
2-0, inside, 3-0. A walk would also force in a run and cut the lead to just 1. Burke yesterday was 1 for 4 with a single and 3 flyouts.
Say 3-0 here. You letting him swing?
Not a chance. I know he's your leadoff hitter, but you haven't seen great pitches. Ooh. It is a good pitch, though, with a strike.
I was going to say that's a good pitch to swing at. That's one of the gives and takes of swinging 3-0 versus not swinging 3-0 is as a fastball center cut.
I think in this pressure scenario, I want to see that pitcher throw a strike, though.
Yep.
3-1. Burke on the ground. First baseman off his glove. It's going to be a close play at first. The flip to the pitcher. It's past him. 1 run comes home to score. The second run racing home. No throw. We're tied at 4.
Wow. What a turn of events right there. Ground ball to the first baseman as he bobbles it, tries to flip it to the bag. It gets away. Now suddenly, first and third, that go-ahead run standing 90 feet away.
All with 2 outs, too.
As we're going to get a pitching change.
So Belknap's day is done as back-to-back errors have allowed the tying run to come around to score. We're tied up at 4. It's the bottom of the third, 2 outs. Runner still off first and third. We'll be right back here on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
Serving the Bridger Valley since 1987, Bridger Valley Motors are your engine repair experts. Along with engine repair, Bridger Valley Motors offers towing services, tire alignments, brake repairs, and more. Visit Bridger Valley Motor at 217 North Main Street in Lyman.
Using the old-fashioned country tradition of barn building, Martin Sheds uses the time-honored construction techniques handed down from generation to generation. For quality, care, and attention to detail, contact Martin Sheds at 307-679-8187 to get a quote today.
Sell or buy your home with a realtor you can trust. At Cowboy State Realty, we are dedicated to helping you with all your real estate needs. At Cowboy State Realty, we are working for you. Call us at 307-200-4332 to schedule an appointment today.
The town of Mountain View is located in the historic Bridger Valley and serves as the gateway to the high Uintas. With a panoramic view of the rugged Uinta peaks, you feel like you're in paradise. Our town park and scenic river walk offer a safe place for rest and relaxation. Looking for a great place to live? Our quality of life is great and our people are very friendly. Come join our tranquil way of life. The town of Mountain View, a gateway to the high Uintas.
I don't know about you, but every time I go to the grocery store, I'm filled with anxiety. Do I have enough money? Meat prices have doubled. How can I ever work on food storage when I can hardly afford food for this week? Wyoming Wild Meats in Lyman is the solution. Weekly specials are posted on Facebook. Beef, pork, chicken for one meal or a mixed order to fill the freezer. You will find quality Gosner cheese and milk products and delicious bread. Because overhead is low, the savings are passed to every customer. Wyoming Wild Meats, offering fresh domestic meats.
Bridger Valley Electric Association provides safe, reliable, and affordable electric energy and related services to their member owners in Wyoming and Utah. Bridger Valley Electric is a consumer-owned cooperative.
New pitcher Shaw on the mound in a new game. We're tied at 4 as Jerome, with 2 outs, has been able to sneak across 4 runs. And now they have a chance to take the lead with runners off first and third still. As we go to Tayton Van Tassel, the 9th batter of this inning, Shaw, the new pitcher. First pitch is high for ball 1.
Yeah, this is all coming with 2 outs here in the inning, 2-out rallies. There's something about that captivates the team. Makes you play a little bit better as the game goes along.
Yeah, so recap this inning. Arellano struck out looking to start the inning. Andrew Wilson walked, but then was cut down with a fielder's choice. Since then, single, walk, error. 4 runs in. Inside, 2-0.
It's a good stop behind the plate. For as much as it puts the wind in the sails for 2-out rallies, a 2-out run scoring on a wild pitch can zap all of the wind out of your sails. It's a good job behind the plate there by Nichols.
2-0. Runner still off first in Trey Burke. And Tayton swings through that one. It did not hit his bat, and the run will come across to score.
Yeah, the rare time that the swing and miss works out in their favor. It's actually Laurie's behind the plate. My apologies.
And there is the go-ahead run, 5-4. Now the Tigers leading here in the bottom of the third. Looking like we're going to have a time limit game here. 2:17 is the time. This game started right at 1 o'clock. So here in the bottom of the third, looking like we may see time limit be the one that ends this one. That's fouled off. 2-2 now.
Yeah, I understand why, but I mean, love to see these semifinal games go.
Oh, you always want them to go full 7, but
I understand it.
Because of time constraints still.
Yeah.
The championships will be full 7 games, though.
Yes. I was going to say we could be here until about 4 o'clock waiting for that first game waiting for this game to end.
That's away. 3 balls, 2 strikes, yeah. And that's the problem because say you let this game go the full 7, this finishes at 4. You need at least 15 minutes, 30 minutes to break. You're starting the next game at 4:30. Let's say that goes 2 hours, and it's 6:30, another 15 minutes break. You're starting the championship game for gold at 7 o'clock, which, again, they've been playing at 8:30, but it's kind of hard to predict everything. That's flied into center field. Coming on hard is the center fielder, Croft. He makes the catch, but the damage has been done. 5 runs for Jerome gives them the lead, 5-4, as that concludes the Uinta I-Envision third inning. We'll be back with the fourth here on the My Local Radio Sports Network.
Hey, Dad, can I go play outside?
Yes, you can, but don't forget your sunglasses. Did you know that sunglasses with UV protection can help lower your risk of eye calluses, early cataracts, and macular degeneration? At Uinta Eye and Vision, we can help you find the perfect pair of prescription or non-prescription sunglasses from companies like Ray-Ban, Oakley, Maui Jim, and more. Call Uinta Eye and Vision today to protect your eyes from the sun.
Uinta Eye and Vision, 307-789-3937. Uinta Eye and Vision, 789 eyes.
Ready has provided safety and excellence in the industrial construction and support services since 1982. We have the crews and equipment for hydro excavation, dirt and equipment hauling, as well as produced and potable water hauling. We also offer septic tank cleaning services, portable toilets, and roll-off dumpster rentals for facility shutdowns, on location or for your next outdoor event. Call us today to discuss how we can help with your next project. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
We'll go back here to the fourth inning as we've got the Tigers on top of the Knights 5-4. Jace Andrews alongside Aaron Poling. The Tigers, man, storming back, and all with 2 outs as those 5 runs came across after 2 outs have been recorded for the Knights.
Yeah, that's a huge momentum change in that inning as they were, 1 out away, 1 strike away realistically from getting out of that inning ahead 4-0. And we were talking about, hey, if you just scratch across that 1 run in the second inning, try to get some momentum on your side, they're able to do so, and then they're able to really snatch a hold of this game. Now they're in the driver's seat.
They did a little bit more than chip away.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
I would say that was an eraser.
Yeah.
But the Knights, though, these are the type of games the Knights have played in all tournament long. So they are not going to be rattled by, giving up the lead. They played in a game last night where it really felt like the game was just back and forth, gave up the lead, were able to come back. The game they played on Thursday night, they were ahead, gave up the lead, got back ahead, gave up the lead, got back ahead. So they're used to these roller coaster type of games. So they're not going to get too high, they're not going to get too low in the emotions, and I think they're going to continue to grind this out. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen this at bat. Is they're going to have to try to get some of that momentum back. This is a huge inning that they're going to want to try to score some runs.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the Tigers. You're expecting a shutdown inning. So, by the way, got a new pitcher on the mound, it looks like, as Andrew Wilson, the DH, will come in and replace Garcia. So, Wilson comes in for the DH, which, forgive me if I'm wrong, does that take out the DH?
That eliminates the DH, you are correct. Just because the DH is now in position.
Correct, so Wilson on the mound. It's Croft at the plate to lead us off here for the Knights. Beecroft, that is, and that's going to be a ball.
One thing about the DH and going universal DH, I think it's going to take away learning opportunities in the game of baseball for young kids watching.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways I do agree, but at the same time, because it's taken away, this is the way they're going to. They learn how to play the way it's going to be now. So, 2-0 to Beecroft. That's up high.
Yeah, you're not going to see too many double switches anymore where you got 2 players coming to the game. Seems like 3 players come out. Now a pitcher comes in too.
3 balls, no strikes. Strike. Right there, a fastball on the heart of the plate.
Who probably isn't complaining about that is National League score book keepers.
There's a lot of switching. 3-1. Foul straight back.
It's interesting. My favorite baseball team is an American League team, but because of the no DH rule in the National League, my favorite brand of baseball used to be National League Baseball just because there's just so much strategy. Yeah.
3-2 in the turf. Ball 4, a leadoff walk.
That's a great job after you relinquish the lead. That first at-bat, grinding out an at-bat and getting on base. Great job there by the leadoff hitter. Also, part of that, too, is the pitchers made me feel like that's probably what I would look like if I was hitting against Major League pitching. So,
you want the bad news?
What's that?
You'll probably look worse, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. Like I said, I like to think that. I'd never have to prove that because there's no way I'll ever hit against Major League pitchers.
Looking to bunt, doesn't pull it back, takes the strike as he goes through it.
I don't know. If there's a Major League pitcher right here that wants to prove me wrong that's listening, but if that's the case, politely decline.
Got any Major League pitchers out there?
Maybe.
McCaslin at the plate after that failed bunt attempt on the first pitch. See if he tries to go for it again with the runner at first. Check on that runner they're going to throw over.
I do know that there are Major League pitchers connected to to at least one program that was here, and that's the Green River Knights. Ben Lale's brother, Brady Lale, pitched in the Major Leagues.
0-1, he looks to bunt now, gets it down. Pitcher Wilson off the mound, throws over to first. It's in time, but the run does move up to second base.
That's a great bunt. Great job getting off the mound, fielding your position, and throwing over to first. Yeah, that's an opportunity there. We've seen that sometimes that throw from the pitcher, you can dot a fastball down and away at the knees, but for some reason when you go to throw to first base, pitchers try to lob that ball, and they could possibly throw it away, so it's a good job concentrating, completing the play.
With one gone now, we go back to the top of the order, and Lawrence, the right fielder, popped out and struck out today, has the tying run at second base. Watches a first pitch fastball for a strike. On deck is Seacroft. He has a triple and a walk, scored runs in both times. 0-1 the count. Check on the run of the pitch. Just outside on that one, doesn't get the call. 1-1. First baseman in on the grass. Third baseman just off it. And middle infielders at double play depth. Maybe a little bit more in. And the first and that pitch there is away, so 2-1.
It's interesting. The shortstop's holding the runner on. Where
usually, especially with a left-handed hitter or a right-hander,
yeah,
I'd probably like to see the second baseman, which the second baseman also playing really far to the right side, to be honest. It's up high, 3-1.
I was going to say that's counter to what you usually see. The second baseman will be over at the bag, dancing with the runner, and that leaves a giant hole on that right side of the field. Typically in this position, you'd want to try to go right side here. If you can hit a ground ball to routine short, you might get a word with a base hit.
Ball 4, and we now have runners at first and second with 1 out.
Be kind of the same thing here with the pitcher going to double play depth.
We're going to have a mound visit here as Wilson will have his first talk. Five to 4 again, your score. Jerome scored all 5 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We're here in the top of the 4th. Croft is going to be the batter. He has tripled and walked. That walk came just last inning where he stole a bag and came around to score.
Looks like it's still 3-0 Malad over there in the 7th inning as that game seems to be flying by.
Goodness.
That's good, though, for Malad as it gives them an opportunity to get over here and get a chance to, get over here, get settled, watch this game, and get in the dugout quickly as possible. Last thing you want is for the Dragons to have to, finish the game, run over, and get ready in about 5 minutes in a new field for that next game.
Yeah, no, don't want that. Especially for a championship game.
Yeah.
That'll be kind of nice for both sides. They'll have the normal 15 minutes and they'll start. So.
Yes, sir. That should be an interesting matchup. Malad and Rock Springs, it appears to be. Obviously, Stansbury has a chance to come back.
It's up high. Runners off first and second. Croft at the plate. I mentioned he had a triple back in the 1st inning. Triple here would give them back the lead. Wilson on the mound as he checks the runner from the hip. And from the stretch, the pitch. Away, 2-0.
Yeah, this is a great count right here to be in. Pitcher kind of struggling, walk to batter. You have to imagine you're probably getting a fastball here, so sitting dead red with a real good power hitter at the plate.
2 balls, no strikes, the pitch. Just outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Croft walked just an inning ago. A walk here would load the bases for Osterman. He steps into the right-handed hitter's batter's box. Wilson with the ball in the glove, checks the runner and pitch. A swing and a fly ball, foul territory, and it will stay in play, but no one able to get over there as 3 Tigers converge in Whitaker, Jackson, and Ramsey, the first, second, and right fielder.
I don't mind the swing 3-0 there, especially with the tying run at second base, one of your better hitters up. But if you're going to swing 3-0, you have to make sure you're on time. This shouldn't be a no-no yes swing. This should be a yes, 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 and you take the biggest rip you can at it.
3-1. Checks the runner of the pitch. Strike, top of the zone. Count will go full.
It's a great job battling all the way back.
It's B. Croft at second, Lawrence at first, and C. Croft at the plate. Full count pitch. Runner goes foul. Straight back, Anthony. That was yours.
That would have been right to me. Going for that net. If I didn't have my hands up, that would have hit me right in the nose.
Count remained full. Saw the steal there, but just from the second base bag, man. Biddy Croft.
Kind of wonder if it was a 3-2 sign that we're going to get the runners moving, stay out of the double play.
Maybe. 3-2 once again. High for ball 4, bases loaded for the Knights.
Yeah, it looks like that runner just kind of timed up the delivery to the plate that last pitch. Just had to try to take one.
3 runners on, all via the walk, and Osterman, who's been hit by a pitch, came around to score and struck out looking as the beneficiary of this situation. What will he do with it now? A first pitch fastball does not find the zone. It's high.
Good news for Jerome is you're still just 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. You get a nice hard hit ground ball to your shortstop. You can roll 2. You leave the inning with the lead, but you have to execute right here.
Pitch. Just outside, 2-0. One out in the inning. Corner infielders in on the grass. Middle infielders are double play depth. That's going to hit him. Hit by pitch. Bases still loaded and a tie game. And that may be the end for Wilson. Just not his day, to be honest.
Yeah, that was a breaking ball that slipped out of his hand. And unfortunately for him as a right-handed hitter, if that's a lefty, it's just a ball, but that's going to tie it.
So that'll be the end of the day for Wilson. We will be right back here in the top of the fourth. We're tied up at 5, and the bases are loaded for the Knights when we come back. You're watching a First Bank of Wyoming presentation of the 2024 Pocatello Woodbat Classic here on mylocalradio.com.
Auto, home, life, renters, and business all have one thing in common. They all need insurance. Choosing the right agent is always hard. Choose the agent that takes a professional and individual approach to each client. At Farmers Insurance in Lyman, you will find that agent. Farrell is a down-to-earth person who loves hunting, fishing, and above all, his family. Come in and visit him and his friendly staff for a quote today at 37 Mountain Meadow Street, Suite B in Lyman.
At Y-Hi, we are with you is more than just 3 simple words. It encompasses the principles we live by to serve our members and local communities. So if you're looking to keep your banking relationships local with a partner who will always be there for you, look to us. We're Y-Hi. We're Wyoming. We're with you. Visit yhi.org to learn how you can be a part of something bigger today.
Hey, Dad, can I go play outside?
Yes, you can, but don't forget your sunglasses. Did you know that sunglasses with UV protection can help lower your risk of eye calluses, early cataracts, and macular degeneration? At Uinta Eye and Vision, we can help you find the perfect pair of prescription or non-prescription sunglasses from companies like Ray-Ban, Oakley, Maui Jim, and more. Call Uinta Eye and Vision today to protect your eyes from the sun.
Uinta Eye and Vision, 307-789-3937. Uinta Eye and Vision, 789 eyes.
Ready has provided safety and excellence in the industrial construction and support services since 1982. We have the crews and equipment for hydro excavation, dirt and equipment hauling, as well as produced and potable water hauling. We also offer septic tank cleaning services, portable toilets, and roll-off dumpster rentals for facility shutdowns, on location, or for your next outdoor event. Call us today to discuss how we can help with your next project. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
We offer rebates on energy-saving products and equipment for our customers. For example, your home's heating and air conditioning system draws significant amount of electricity during certain times of the year. We offer cashback for heat pumps, which use energy-efficient technology to heat and cool your home. We also offer rebates on appliances and smart accessories like smart plugs and smart switches. Really, for anything that draws electricity in your home, we usually have some type of rebate to offer you. Visit wattsmarthomes.com today.
When participating in sports, there's always a lot to talk about performing at the top of your game. I'd like to expand on that and ask, how about performing at the top of your game in every part of your life? This is Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic. I offer solutions to help improve all aspects of your game called life. Pain management, migraines, allergies, emotional release, nutritional supplements based on blood tests, and improved athletic performance. To help you perform at the top of your game every day, call today to schedule an appointment in Evanston or in Kemmer. Hoover Chiropractic, 307-789-0043.
The best trips away from home always come when you know you're among friends. This is Coulter Patterson, General Manager at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. I invite you to stay with us every time you're here. We've got the absolute best staff. Lots of our team members have been working together for years, and we feel like we're a happy family. I guarantee you'll feel that when you come stay with us. We're always glad that you choose the Come On In, and we'll do everything to make your stay comfortable and relaxing. The Come On In Hotel and Suites is the best place to stay because we have the best staff in Casper. Come on in today.
The strategic plan for Una County School.
Top of the fourth. Tie game. Bases loaded. New pitcher on the mound. Bring in Brett Harrison. He was the third baseman, as the previous pitcher, Andrew Wilson, will now be the third baseman. Jace Andrews, Aaron Poling. We're set up at 5, and there's the bases loaded for the Hilcrest Knights with just 1 out in the inning. The pitch from Harrison is a first pitch fastball that gets a swing and a miss from the batter, Nichols. Nichols today grounded out and was hit by a pitch, came around to score. Well, that was last inning. And Jerome, after grabbing the lead 5-4, has given it up, and now they are in danger of letting the lead go away as well. Not just the lead, letting the tie go away, excuse me. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at every base, the pitch. Stays high, 2-1.
Yeah, tough situation to be in here. You have to come to the hitter now. You don't want to go to 3 balls with the bases loaded.
2 balls, 1 strike from the stretch. Swinging a rope into center field, coming on Burke, makes the catch. He's looking to throw, as it's going to go all the way to a cutoff man, as that's the pitcher, Harrison, who grabs it, as it wasn't going to get the home plate in time. And scoring on the play is going to be Lawrence.
Yeah, I like that, cutting that off. That throw looked like it just didn't quite have enough zip to get to the home plate before the runner was going to score. So you cut it off, keep that runner at second. Now, runner at third base, a myriad of things could happen, and none of them have to be a hit to score the run. Where at second base, you have to get a hit to score that run. You're not really going to score. Well, you have to put it in play to score that run, excuse me. You won't score on a wild pitch, so it's a good play there. You take your medicine and try to get that run back in the bottom half of the inning. You scored 5 in the last inning, so you feel good about your offense.
First and second are where the runner's at now with 2 outs, and Harrison has a pitch in the turf for ball 1. It's Bodley at the plate, singled his last time up. 1 for 2 effort thus far. 6-5 the score as the Knights retake the lead. Knights have 2 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. See if they're trying to get more here. That one gets away from the catcher, Arellano. Runners move up 90 feet each. They'll be at second and third.
Cutting that ball off looms even larger now, just because if you didn't, yeah. And not only that, the run to make it a 3-run lead would also be standing 90 feet away.
Knights on top, and a couple of insurance runs standing out there, but 2 outs here for Bodley as Harrison's pitch. On the ground, second baseman Jackson into his glove, throws over to first, and Whitaker grabs it for out number 3. 2 runs come across to score, and the Knights, who lost the lead in the bottom of the third, get it right back in the top of the fourth. We go bottom half here, Knights on top. You're watching a First Bank of Wyoming presentation of the 2024 Pocatello Woodback Classic here on MyLocalRadio.com, part of the My Local Radio Sports Network.
We offer rebates on energy-saving products and equipment for our customers. For example, your home's heating and air conditioning system draws significant amount of electricity during certain times of the year. We offer cashback for heat pumps, which use energy-efficient technology to heat and cool your home. We also offer rebates on appliances and smart accessories like smart plugs and smart switches. Really, for anything that draws electricity in your home, we usually have some type of rebate to offer you. Visit wattsmarthomes.com today.
When participating in sports, there's always a lot to talk about performing at the top of your game. I'd like to expand on that and ask, how about performing at the top of your game in every part of your life? This is Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic. I offer solutions to help improve all aspects of your game called life. Pain management, migraines, allergies, emotional release, nutritional supplements based on blood tests, and improved athletic performance. To help you perform at the top of your game every day, call today to schedule an appointment in Evanston or in Kemmer. Hoover Chiropractic, 307-789-0043.
Bottom of the fourth we go. Knights take back the lead, 6-5 the score. Jace Andrews alongside Aaron Poling. And I want to take a quick second here to thank some of our amazing sponsors, including one who has really been able to help us all weekend long, and that's Evergreen Financial Partners. When planning your financial future, trust the experts at Evergreen Financial Partners. With offices in Pocatello at 450 East Day Street, suite number 450, and a new location in Preston at 713 South 4th East, suite 200. You can set your appointment up online at evergreenfinancialpartners.net. Shout out to Evergreen Financial Partners. They've been a key reason why we've been on all weekend long. First pitch to the batter, Lane Arellano, is in the turf for ball one. Arellano was the leadoff hitter last inning. He struck out looking as they batted 9 and scored 5 in the bottom of the third. Shaw back out on the mound. He came in relief on Belknap last inning. 2-0 count.
Important at bat right here. Had 2-0. You want to try to find your way on base, much like the way the Knights did in the last half inning.
Shaw from the windup, the 2-0 pitch to Arellano. That goes over the back. And, you see some of these pitchers who, especially with Shaw's case, came out here pitching from the stretch, obviously, with people on base. This is the first time he's on the windup, and right now struggling to find the zone. And sometimes it can be just as simple as that to throw off a pitcher. 4-pitch walk to Arellano, and we got a base runner here and the tying run on the base pass.
Yeah, typically I always felt if you're starting a game, wind up. But if you're gonna come into a game, I felt like just that entire day, just go from the stretch. Unless you get an opportunity to really get some warm-up pitches in where you can find your footing with the windup. Because the thing about the windup is it takes probably about 3 pitches in the bullpen, I think, for you to get the correct rhythm, get the correct going, and it just takes a little bit of time, and it's extra motion that. It helps with rhythm, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the windup doesn't have its purposes, but, when you're coming out of the stretch, to begin the stretch, you have to try to find that rhythm, and now 4 pitches in, you're right back to the stretch. Let's see if that helps him out, helps him slow himself down and really finds his mechanics.
Well, as the mound meeting commences, there are some Knights that head over to the bullpen area. It was number 23, which if he comes in, we'll have to get the lineup again, of course. Freaking take a picture of it, I should have. But either way, it's for right now Shaw on the mound, and it's Andrew Wilson, who is now the third baseman up at the plate. First pitch fastball finds the top of the zone, 0-1. Runner at first base with the leadoff walk, Lane Arellano. Pitch from Wilson, or to Wilson, flied into shallow left field. Actually, is just going to drop in front of the shortstop. Miscommunication. Osterman and Bodley both look at each other as that falls on the infield dirt. And now you got runners at first and second on what is going to have to be scored as a single.
Yeah, that's tough on the mound. You struggled the first at-bat of the inning. You come to the stretch and you do your job. You get a pop-up, and unfortunately it just kind of falls in.
Nobody out still. Go-ahead run now on the base pass. Shaw's pitch. Fastball, or rather, that was a changeup there that found the zone.
Over there at shortstop, you got to take charge of that one. You got to put that away.
That's your ball.
You're the best athlete on the field for your team. You got to take care of that one.
Well, the infield captain is the shortstop. That's his ball. That's way away. Shaw just shaking his head as he misgripped that one. Pats his chest saying, my bad.
Is that a knuckleball maybe? That kind of looked like it came out of his hand like a knuckleball. Came out funny.
I have no clue.
I mean, usually when someone throws a pitch like that, you can't really classify that as anything. It's just a slip.
1 ball, 1 strike. And the fastball there stays up.
It's a pretty good pitch. I was going to say, if you can throw a pitch like that behind the batter, then turn around and dot a fastball on the outside corner, that's dangerous for a hitter because you're really uncomfortable. You don't know where the ball is going. Plus, you can also spot it.
2-1 and a fly ball into shallow center field, and actually way deeper than I thought, and a great running gab by Croft as that ball just kept carrying. And Croft, man, thank goodness he was there because the right fielder didn't see it at all. And if that gets over his head, that's potentially 2 runs coming across the score and the lead going back to Jerome.
Yeah, that's also great base running there at second base. Understanding that if that ball is dropped, unless if the center fielder knocks it down by his feet, then you might be able to keep the runner from scoring. But if that ball gets over the center fielder's head, you're scoring from second no matter what. Getting back and tagging on the catch now puts that tying run 90 feet away.
That's up high. New batter is Noah Ramsey, the right fielder. He singled his last time up. That was back in the last inning. He also came around to score. He was the start of that 2-out rally. Lane Arellano at third. Andrew Wilson at first. Or excuse me. Yes, that's Andrew Wilson. That's away. Ramsey with a 1-1 count, I believe. Is that what you got?
I forgot to reset it, so I had it at 3-1. I think it's 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 runner at first, 1 runner at third. That's inside, 2-1.
You got to snap that breaking ball through. Left it at the shoulders. It's a pitch that really tantalizes the batter because it starts over their head. If you could start that about the shoulders and snap it down to about the thighs, it's going to be a great pitch.
2-1 the count, and Shaw steps off. Runner over at third, Arellano is really messing with the head of Shaw. So he's in the sight line of the right-handed pitcher, so he's jumping around, moving back and forth. Big hack at the plate from Ramsey. Moves the count even to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, usually I'd say, hey, that runner on third, especially going from the stretch, don't worry about him. But we've seen quite a few stolen bases of home, so you do have to worry about him a little bit, but if they want to jump around, that's fine. Just look home.
Here's the pitch, and that stays high, a breaking ball. It buckled Ramsey, but luckily it's not a strike, and the ball goes away from the pitcher Shaw on the throwback, but it's not far enough, and a good play by the shortstop and second baseman to back him up to make sure that nothing was in the works.
Yeah, I don't think the Tigers want to risk getting that tying run thrown out at home, trying to sneak one in when the Knights are pretty aware.
Full count, runner at first and third. Down by 1, and that's chopped off his leg. Stays alive. Looks like the pitcher for the Knights is ready to go as the bullpen barrage returns back to the dugout.
Right here, choke up, 2 strikes if you can. Try to poke one the other way. A lot of room over there on that left side of the infield between the third baseman and the shortstop.
Full count. Strike 3 called. Ramsey set down, and now a huge strikeout there for Shaw. Puts 2 outs on the board.
That's a great pitch on the inner third. Freezes the batter. Not really much he could do, as it looked like that ball had some funny spin to it, as it looked like it started above the zone and then came down, caught the zone. Not much argument from the hitter, so I think he kind of just got fooled on that pitch. Great 3-2 pitch.
Wilson still off first, and a first pitch swinging foul ball. Looks like the game over on Hawthorne has concluded, as I think it was Malad with the victory. Get confirmation on that.
They were up 3-1.
2 outs. No balls and 1 strike. Shaw checks the run of the pitch. And a foul ball into the stands.
That ball danced around a patron that was sitting there. Didn't want to move, using their umbrella to protect them. Didn't flinch.
0-2. Tying run at third. Shaw, the pitch. Runner goes way up high and easily stealing second as Wilson. So now the go-ahead run at second base.
Picked the perfect pitch to run on, as that was a breaking ball that slipped out of the hand.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Tying run at third. Go-ahead run at second. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Shaw from the windup. Cut on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts by Shaw. Leaves the tying run stranded at third. We go to the 5th. Knights on top 6-5 as the 8th seed tries to go to the championship game. You're watching a First Bank of Wyoming presentation of the 2024 Pocatello Wood Bat Classic here on MyLocalRadio.com.
When you're looking for great deals on a vehicle, you'll find them at Rocky Mountain Yeti in Evanston. With 2 locations to serve you, let your adventure start here. Rocky Mountain Yeti in Evanston, legend driven.
Farming requires working with the right equipment. At Covelo Auto Farm Service, you will find the right size tractor, tractor accessories, cattle chutes, and calf corrals for all your farming needs. Covelos has all your auto needs as well. From fluids to belts to protection for your hands, they've got you covered. Covelos also offers a service center for your truck and tractors in one convenient location. Covelos is your one-stop farm and auto shop. Stop in and see them today at 80 Reese Road in Lyman. Covelos Auto Farm Service.
Fifth inning we go in what will most likely be the last inning, as we got about 10 minutes left in the time limit for this ball game. And yes, it's a semifinal, but unfortunately, time limits do still apply along with mercy rules in the semifinal games. However, the championship games, which will have the silver championship with Aaron Poling and Anthony Colasuono coming up right after this game at 3:30. That game, no time limits. And did we figure out, is there mercy rules? It shouldn't matter, but...
No, I said I'd run down and check that, and I never did, so that's
I don't think there is. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see them doing it, though, just to try to keep the game on track if it gets out of hand.
First pitch swinging, fouled away, out of play.
I mean, you want to give teams every opportunity to come back, but if you're down 20-0 in the third...
Yeah, I guess that maybe the mercy rule's still there. We'll check and make sure and have that before the game start, but... Anthony and Aaron will have that. Then the gold championship between either the Jerome Tigers or Hilcrest Knights will take on the Bruins. Right now, as it stands, it'll be the Knights going to the championship game as the 8th seed, taking on the 6th seed. As, of course, that's what everybody guessed. Nice little battle for the ball there. Bounding ball to the third baseman. Across the diamond in time. Wilson, who was a DH to start, a pitcher then, and now the third baseman, records the out. When you talk about the ball will find you when you're there?
Yeah, right. Forget what night it was, but we had a game where we had 3 defensive position changes, and literally a putout went to every single one of them.
It was the shortstop, third baseman, and first baseman. Ground ball to short, ground ball to third, ground ball to first. You can't make it up. So that was Trey Smith who grounded out. Now it's the catcher Lawrence at the plate as Harrison on the mound trying to work a clean top of the 5th and try and get his boys down to the bottom of the 5th with effectively a chance to walk it off. I mean, it's 2:52. Game started, I want to say, right at 3.
Yeah. Car insurance, house insurance is expensive. Run insurance is not.
I like it. On the ground of the shortstop, takes an awkward hop. He's going to have to fire it across. He does, and it's an out.
The point I'm trying to make about that is if you're the Knights, you want to tack on a run here. And I got to rally with 2 outs because you could very well be going into the last half inning of the game and, you know, trying to hold a 2-run lead is a lot better than trying to hold a 1-run lead.
Very true. Croft, the batter, he walked his last time up, flew out in the second. That was the ground ball to Van Tassel at short that has the second out in this inning. Bending breaking ball that doesn't find the zone at all. 1-0. Strike called. 1-1. Croft is the center fielder today. His brother plays second base. And his brother has reached base safely 3 times. Croft here will hit it to the third baseman. And a long throw across the diamond. And a great job by the first baseman to get off the bag to make sure it didn't allow for another bag. But it's going to be an errant throw that will allow Croft to reach safely.
Yeah, if you're the Knights, you want to try to make that hurt. You just got a free chance of trying to tack on a run here after the ground ball should have been converted. But, you know, that's a long throw across. And got to imagine some of what was on the mound is sticking with Wilson with him at third base. And you want to try to flush that because the ball is probably going to come back to you somehow, some way.
First pitch swinging right back into the netting for the 9-slot McCaslin, who's popped out and had a sacrifice bunt.
It's amazing in the game of baseball how often when you are not feeling at your best on the field that it's either going to come down to you either at the plate or you're going to have to make a big play in the field. So you have to try to flush it, and that's the 70% mental part of the game.
Now he fouls, tips that one. It's 0-2. Harrison has done great this inning, I got to be honest, to work quickly. Not that it really matters because, like, you know, you're going to be able to bat in the bottom half either way.
Yeah, you're not.
But just to try and get your bats back when you were so close to tying it up in that last half inning.
Yeah, you're not planning on going 1, 2, 3 to try to get to this next inning. We're trying to win that game in the bottom half.
0-2 is a bending ball. It doesn't find the top of the zone.
If not, win it. You know, tie it. Obviously, if the game is tied going into the next inning.
We'll continue.
Can't have a 3-way play for the championship game. Be interesting. You rotate.
All right. One team's the infield, one's the outfield, one's the batters. Let's go.
I was going to say one's the pitcher, one's the fielders, or one's the hitters, one's the pitcher, one's the umpire.
One's the umpire. Y'all out. Oh, y'all both scored no runs. Darn.
Strategically find a way to try to, mess with the other team as an umpire.
2-2. Oh, that hit his hands. Oh, they're going to say foul. They're going to say foul. I thought it hit his hands.
I thought it did too.
He's saying the knob of the bat.
Got to sell that a bit as a hitter. Once it hits your hands, you drop the
it,
bat, dance around.
Got to have the Academy Award there.
Yeah. I know we make fun of soccer sometimes for the flopping, but, you got to let the umpire know. That's a tough call to make.
2-2, an absolute beauty of a pitch. And right there, we see Harrison absolutely just strut off the mound as he feels good after that one. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's probably the last chance for Jerome as they're down by 1 here in the semifinals of the Gold Bracket. You're watching a First Bank of Wyoming presentation of the 2024 Wood Bat Classic here on mylocalradio.com.
Great signage is an important component to any successful business. It lets your customers know they have arrived at your doors, and it's a constant advertisement of who you are. When you install LED signage, you're taking it one step further. The ability to create color messages that move is an attention grabber. Plus, you can change the message whenever you would like. Make your business stand out with an LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign, providing service, installation, and maintenance on all signage. Rocky Mountain Sign, licensed in Wyoming and Utah. Call today for a quote, 307-789-5202.
Distracted driving is dangerous, but some people just can't seem to help themselves. There's the steering wheel propper, the sneak-a-peeker, the fast roller, the night-lighter. And it's not long until they become the fender-benderer, the got-a-ticketer, the veering off the road, the driver who kills someone. Enough with the phones already. Just put them down.
Bottom of the 5th, Jerome down by 1 and the time limit creeping up. First pitch is a ball, a strike taken on our half. It's going to have to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters here. And a fly ball, foul territory out of play. Oh, it stays in play, but no one's there to grab it. 0-2. 8, 9, and 1 is your batters here to try and mount a 1-run comeback at least to tie this. Garcia today walked and reached on an error, so he's been on base both times. Now here in the 5th has an 0-2 count.
We have confirmation the next game will be Rock Springs versus Malad, as that game is scheduled for 3:30.
0-2, the windup from Shaw. Breaking ball just a bit outside, maybe a tad high as well, and it's going to be 1-2.
It's a good 0-2 pitch.
Yeah, I like that one. I think now you do the same thing, just slide her down and in, or down and away. 1-2. Shaw the windup. Cut on and missed the fastball by the batter Garcia. There's one out in the bottom of the 5th. Zayden Van Tassel now the batter. Reached on an error in the 3rd, lined out in the 2nd. Trying to get on base and become the tying run. Well, he's the tying run either way, but if he gets on base, being the tying run would be a little better. One out, Shaw inside of Tassel. Tassel has scored 1 run in this game. That was back in the 3rd after he was reached on by an error. I'll have a conversation over here with his head manager. Both the on-deck man, Trey Burke, will also be there with Zayden Van Tassel to discuss and see what's going on with Sean. We're also going to have a mound visit because of the time called. They have a free mound visit to use now. Because that's the coach said. He goes, I can go out there, right? And he goes, yeah, time's called.
Interesting. I mean, we're past the 3 o'clock time limit if it is when that started at 1. Be interested to know what the coach said to his players, because the on-deck batter relayed the message to the rest of the team. So I imagine he probably picked something up in the sequencing or maybe a pattern that the pitcher was falling into.
Here's the pitch. Way up high. 2 balls and no strikes.
Could also be delivering the message of, hey, you're going to see a strike before you swing the bat. Force this pitcher to find the zone.
2-0. And that's in the turf. We did mention from the windup here, it's been tough.
Yeah.
Shaw's worked way better from the stretch thus far in what we've seen.
Yeah, because I think he only landed 1 strike in that prior at bat. He got a couple of chases, including the strike 3.
Well, he lands one there. 3 balls, 1 strike.
I was going to say, I know it sounds like a crazy tactic after a strikeout, but sometimes a pitcher, after getting that punch out, the adrenaline's just there.
3-1. Cut and a miss. Zayden Van Tassel went for a haymaking blow. Three and 2. Shaw, the windup. In the air. And the catcher makes the grab. Lords has the second out. From 3-0 to 3-2 to a pop out. 1 out away from the 8th seed going to the championship game against the Bruins.
Yeah, not only is it 1 out though, but it's going to be a tough out. Leadoff hitter on at the top of the order. And Burks, he has extra base power, so you have to still be careful.
First pitch swinging on the ground. Second baseman Croft, gloves, fires in time. Game over. We have our championship. It's the Hilcrest Knights versus the Idaho Falls Bruins in the Gold Championship at 6 o'clock. The 8th seed comes out, beats the 1 seed, beats the 5 seed, and now has a chance to go for the championship here at the 2024 Pocatello Woodback Classic. We'll be right back here with your post-game show as you're watching a First Bank of Wyoming presentation of the 2024 Pocatello Woodback Classic on mylocalradio.com.
What is Uinta BOCES #1? It's your community college to pursue your degree or certificate. It's high school equivalency. It's CPR and other workforce training. It's cooking and computer classes. It's 3D printers, vinyl cutters, and other free tools. We're many different things to many different people, meeting the education needs of the place we call home. So what is Uinta BOCES #1? That's for you to decide. Come see us today and let us help you make your educational dreams come true.
The tires you drive on matter. Tire quality and condition affect overall safety and how your vehicle performs. Having the right air pressure in your tires even affects gas mileage. Don't trust your tires to just anybody. Choose Freeway Tire to handle all your vehicle maintenance, including regular tire checks and rotation. When it comes to your vehicle, choose the team that really knows tires. Freeway Tire in Evanston. Stop in today.
With 25 years of successful industry experience, Mountain West Business Solutions looks forward to providing all of our customers with exceptional service, industry-leading technology, and a one-of-a-kind buying experience. Having your office equipped with the right technology makes all the difference in the world. With a lower cost per print, we will supply you with the right technology for the best price. Great people, great products, and great service. Mountain West Business Solutions.
Precision, the quality, condition, or fact of being exact and accurate.
Precision is important.
scoring the next point, making the perfect shot, getting the best score. And when you think of your dentist, you want precision to be the first word that comes to mind. That's why patients are so pleased with Dr. McKay Frankum. He provides precision family dentistry at reasonable prices to every patient. Dr. McKay Frankum, call today for an appointment.
Call Dr. McKay Frankum at 789-8910.
Buying or selling is a simple process if you're working with the right real estate agent. This is Bobby Dalzall, broker with Big Country Properties. We have agents serving both Lincoln and Uintah counties that can assist you with all of your real estate needs. We are the top listing and selling brokerage in the Bridger Valley and strive to be honest, hardworking, and thorough. Whether buying or selling, we make it happen. Call us today at Big Country Properties, 307-782-3556.
I don't know about you, but every time I go to the grocery store, I'm filled with anxiety. Do I have enough money? Meat prices have doubled. How can I ever work on food storage when I can hardly afford food for this week? Wyoming Wild Meats and Lyman is the solution. Weekly specials are posted on Facebook. Beef, pork, chicken for one meal or a mixed order to fill the freezer. You will find quality Gosner cheese and milk products and delicious bread. Because overhead is low, the savings are passed to every customer. Wyoming Wild Meats, offering fresh domestic meats.
Fast, fresh, delicious. 3 words that describe your experience every time you enjoy a delicious meal with Jimmy John's. Utilizing the freshest ingredients, home-baked bread, and professional sandwich building skills, the team at Jimmy John's always delivers a mouth-watering sandwich to satisfy any hunger. Jimmy John's. Freaky fast, freaky fresh. Visit any of our locations today in Evanston, Rock Springs, Sheridan, and Gillette.
Precision, the quality, condition, or fact of being exact and accurate.
Precision is important. Scoring the next point, making the perfect shot, getting the best score. And when you think of your dentist, you want precision to be the first word that comes to mind. That's why patients are so pleased with Dr. McKay Frankum. He provides precision family dentistry at reasonable prices to every patient. Dr. McKay Frankum, call today for an appointment.
Call Dr. McKay Frankum at 789-8910.
Western Wyoming Beverages has been proudly owned and operated in Wyoming for over 50 years, providing reliable service, friendly staff, and the nation's top beverage products, including Pepsi. We always strive to be the premier business partner for our customers. Western Wyoming Beverages services Rock Springs, Green River, Jackson, Evanston, Kemmer, Pinedale, Wamsutter, Big Piney, Mountain View, and Lyman. Go Red Devils!
Ready is committed to providing superior services to our customers by requiring individual accountability for excellence in quality, safety, and dependability. We are a growing company that is currently hiring across Wyoming, Colorado, Texas, Nevada, Idaho, and elsewhere. Our valued team members receive competitive wages, full benefits, and weekly pay. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
WattSmart is Rocky Mountain Power's energy efficiency program. WattSmart provides rebates to residential customers for energy efficiency upgrades made around the home. Devices and appliances that use electricity in your home can usually be made more efficient, and that can save you money and energy. When you decide to make upgrades, we have rebates available for you. Visit wattsmarthomes.com today.
Out here, we've always worked remote. Out here, stress usually refers to the pull on a rope. Where a stroll in the city is also a stroll in the great outdoors. Where work is a way of life, and life is good. Out here, the backyards are big, and the deals, they're even bigger. This is southwestern Wyoming, and it's where you can get the biggest deals on a vehicle you want with plenty of hometown hospitality. Heritage Auto, your hometown dealer with the biggest deals.
Welcome back here to Pocatello, Idaho, as the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap gets underway here in this post-game show. Jerome falls to the Hilcrest Knights. 6-5 your final score. The 8-seed Knights work their way against the 1-seed and Rigby and defeat them. Now they work their way against Jerome, the 5-seed, and they will head to face the Idaho Falls Bruins in the Gold Championship game at 6 o'clock. Let's get into this Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Get your gourmet subs today at Jimmy John's. It was a pretty easy start for the Knights, scoring 2 runs in the top of the first inning. Then it got quiet in the bottom of the first. Had some guys kind of floating around the bases, but Jerome unable to push anything across. Top of the third came around, and the Knights were able to push 2 more and make it a 4-0 game. Feeling confident heading into the third, or rather bottom of the third, and that's where things started to kind of come crashing down. 5 runs came across for Jerome, all with 2 outs. The inning started with a strikeout, then a walk, then a fielder's choice to cut down the runner at second. So you had a runner at first base, 2 outs. After that, single, walk, error, 5 runs come home, and Jerome takes the lead 5-4. But the Knights, they'd been in that position before. They've taken punches to the mouth, and they come right back with a punch of their own, as in the top of the fourth, they score 2 runs to take a 6-5 lead back. And then the bottom of the fourth, they shut down a Jerome threat with runners at first, or rather third and second, with 1 out, with back-to-back strikeouts from Shaw, who had become in relief. And then in the top of the fifth, it was the Knights unable to push across anything else. And so the bottom of the fifth, a 1-2-3 inning for Shaw with a strikeout, a pop-out, and a ground-out, was able to push the Knights past the Tigers and move them to the championship game. So that does it for the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap as we head into our Dr. McKay Frankum's Precision Play of the Game. And I'm going to move this in a personal choice to Plays of the Game, as it's the back-to-back strikeouts for Shaw. You have a runner at third in the tying run in the bottom of the fourth. You had just gotten the lead back after you'd been punched in the mouth with a 4-0 lead, then being down 5-4, and he strikes out back-to-back batters to strand the runner at third base and strand the go-ahead run at second base. So a big game-time move there from Shaw in the back-to-back strikeouts. So that is your Dr. McKay's Precision Plays, if you want to call it, of the game. Our Pepsi Player of the Game. Everything is better with Pepsi. And today, who was better other than the Croft brothers? But I'm going to give it to C. Croft, as he had a really exceptional game. Tripled in a run, or tripled in the first inning, came around to score. Walked in the third, also came around to score with a stolen base. And then walked in the fourth as well in another inning that the Knights were able to score 2 runs. So that is your Pepsi Player of the Game to C. Croft. Everything is better with Pepsi, and that will do it. So once again, your final score: the Knights overtake the Jerome Tigers, the 8th seed, head to the championship game with a 6-5 victory. And now we wait as the silver championship game between Malad and, of course, as we just saw earlier, the Rock Spring Stallions. We'll have that game right here for you on MyLocalRadio.com. Aaron Poling and, of course, Anthony Colasuono will be on the call for that one. Me and Dan Hubbard will have the gold championship for you, as Dan will have the play-by-play, 13 years of minor league experience. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be right back here, but that does it for this game. For Aaron Poling to my left, final score, Knights 6, Jerome Tigers 5. We'll see you in the silver championship game from Pocatello. Peace out.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of MyLocalRadio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. No portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. Thank you for joining us for this sports presentation on MyLocalRadio.com.
Yesterday, we were talking, and I go, 13 years of professional coverage, or professional baseball coverage between the two of us. Started laughing.
13 years of professional coverage, it's all day.
I was like, don't ask how that's divvied up.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I'm gonna go try to snag some lineups. You're doing color. And running the computer, so I'm gonna switch everything out.